Hello, community group leaders. This is Buck Giebelhaus coming to you from our headquarters. That's the North Point office. More specifically, this is our media room, which is honestly just a fancy name for a room with a lot of stuff in it, which is really just a fancy name for a storage room with a lot of junk. So that's where I'm coming to you from. And I want to start by saying this. Listen, thank you guys for your leadership. Your sacrifice week in and week out as community group leaders is huge. And you know, as a church, we're trying to keep things so simple and so laser focused. And so where people at North Point are going to grow in their relationship with God, begin to understand who God is, theology, doctrine, perhaps place their faith and trust in His Son, Jesus Christ, where people are going to begin to grow in relationship with one another, with their marriages, with parenting practices, where people are going to actually move on mission and engage their neighbors, coworkers, family members who aren't engaged in the church or who perhaps are not engaged in a relationship with Jesus Christ. All that's going to happen in community groups. And so you all are so critical to what we're trying to do as a church. And I just got to start by saying thank you, thank you, thank you. I know it's a huge deal. It's week in and week out. It's a big commitment. And I'm hearing awesome stuff. So thank you guys for your leadership and everything you do in our community groups. Now, you know, our mission here at North Point is very simple as well. It's to lead people in a growing relationship with Jesus Christ. We fundamentally believe that Jesus is the one who can ultimately change lives. He's the one who can change families. He can change generations. He can change culture. He can change cities. He can change communities. He can even change the world. And we with every ounce of who we are, we fundamentally believe that. And so our strategy as a church to lead people in a growing relationship with Jesus Christ is to create the most irresistible environments we can, where people can pursue a relationship with God or intimacy with God, community with insiders, and influence with outsiders. And you may have noticed over the last couple of weeks that there's been all kinds of environmental changes with our foyer last week, with our digital signage and the pipe and drape, with our check-in systems, if you've seen that, with our large group. If you haven't seen large group in Upstreet or Womberland, you got to check that stuff out. It is so fun to see what's taking place down there. We're doing everything we can to create the most irresistible environments because we feel our responsibility as a church is to create the most irresistible environments we can. And we feel God's responsibility is to change lives. And so that's what we've been doing over the last several weeks, several months, and actually the last couple years. And so with that said, with all these new changes as of late, here's what I'm asking you, and here's what I want to challenge you with. It's this, is that 2 weeks from now, Easter's coming up. And Easter is a perfect time to invite a friend, a coworker, a neighbor, somebody who's not engaged in church to come to our church. They're hearing about Easter in our culture. They're hearing about it in media. They already feel something. Your neighbor who doesn't go to church, they already feel like, gosh, maybe I should go to church. And so I want to encourage you to invite them to church, to invest in that relationship, and then invite them to our Easter service. Because here's what's interesting, and here's what just blows my mind. Did you guys know that 7 out of 10 people who aren't engaged in church have never been invited to church? It's a stat I read this week, and I was like, that's incredible. Did you know that only 2% of church people 2% of church people actually in a given year will invite somebody to their church? That means 98% of people are not going to invite somebody to church, which is crazy because Jesus is the one who can change lives. He's the one who can make sense of marriages and parenting practices and the life that all of us experience. And so I want to challenge you to begin thinking about, begin praying about, somebody that you could invest in who's not engaged in church. And then I want you to be brave. And I want you to have the courage to invite them to our Easter service. So that's what I want to challenge you with. And with that, I want to also let you know that we've got a community group contest that's launching next week. And you'll find out all the details on our Facebook. And I think they're going to launch on Monday. So all the details will be provided there. But here's the skinny, is that the community group who invites the most people has a prize on the table. The community group who invites the most people to our Easter service is going to win an all-expense-paid trip, look at this, to Alamo Drafthouse. And that's compliments of North Point, which is really compliments of you in a very roundabout way. So thank you for that. But listen, we want to do everything we can to partner with you, to invite your friends, family, and neighbors. And so we've got our fancy club card you should be getting from your coach, as well as this will be our first time we're going to use Evites. We've got Evites that'll be on our website Monday or Tuesday. They're going to be very practical, very welcoming, and very helpful to an individual who hasn't been engaged in church for a while. So you're going to see that pop up Monday, Tuesday. We'll let you know via Facebook and via email the details of the contest and how to invite your friends, family, coworkers, and neighbors. So that's my challenge to you. There's going to be fun rewards and fun prizes with that. So with all that said, guys, thank you again for your leadership. I know this is like 5 minutes and 30 seconds right now, so this is a long time. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for your leadership. Thanks for your commitment. I can't wait to see what God's going to continue to do through you and through the people of North Point. Take care.